It's Monday, June 8th, and we're now 73 days into Governor Sununu's original stay-at-home order. Here's your weekly update. I hope you were able to watch my remote interview with Governor Sununu last week. The governor was very generous with his time and spent about a half an hour answering a variety of questions about the shutdown and the gradual reopening as it pertains to the real estate market. If you hadn't had a chance already, you can find it on our dedicated coronavirus page by clicking on the red bar at the top of NHAR.org. As you're probably aware, the governor's original emergency order is now scheduled to end a week from today. That's Monday, June 15th, and he will likely make an announcement later this week as to whether or not that is to be extended. So for at least one more week, those restrictions on real estate, as we very well know by now, including no open houses and no client meetings in our office, still apply. We'll certainly let you know by all of the communication channels as soon as anything changes. And speaking of the government affairs world, for the first time in 3 months, the New Hampshire House of Representatives will meet in full session later this week when they reconvene at the Whittemore Center on the campus of the University of New Hampshire in Durham. Perhaps more importantly for property owners, this past weekend, the state Senate released expansive new legislation which could have significant bearing on landlords and their tenants, as well as on mortgage forbearance and foreclosure procedures. NHAR will testify with concerns on several provisions of that legislation, including one which would place certain limits on any rent increases for the next 6 months. The Senate will also be discussing creating a $50 million fund for property owners to provide assistance to homeowners and renters impacted by the coronavirus, by helping those individuals who have fallen behind on their mortgage or rent and avoid potential foreclosures and evictions. Look for an update from NHAR tomorrow afternoon on that legislation, as well as other bills being debated impacting the real estate industry. On the federal level, last week, Congress passed and the President signed into law changes to the Federal Payroll Protection Program, which provided assistance to many businesses and independent contractors to cover their payroll and other expenses. The new bill increases flexibility for borrowers in how they can use the PPP loans through December 31st, including lowering the amount required to go toward payroll costs from 75 to 60% and lengthening the period to use it from 8 to 24 weeks. It also increases the repayment period from 2 to 5 years. The National Association of Realtors worked hard for those changes to the program, so for more information, go to the link shown below. As for the housing market, I know I'm as interested as anyone to see the most recent real estate market report, which NHAR will receive and release later this week. This will be the May report, so it will obviously hold a lot of interest in terms of where the market went during the heart of the pandemic. We don't have the official numbers yet, but a preliminary estimate shows no surprises. Median price at an all-time high for the month, days on the market down by 12%, unit sales down by 24%, and the key number, inventory, down by what we believe is going to be about 40%. Of course, it's the inventory that's continuing to dictate the direction of the market as a whole. The good news is it's a number we expect will start increasing as local and state economies around the country begin to open up and those would-be sellers start coming off the fence. As we're hearing from economists everywhere, we still have an economy that is fundamentally strong, and therefore we've got a real estate market primed for recovery once the pandemic is at bay. And that's the next cover story for the New Hampshire Realtor Magazine, which should be arriving in your mailboxes soon. I've got an inside source telling me that the cover story is called The Big Pause, A Story of Hope. And although I'm very aware that there have been a wide range of business outcomes in the last couple of months, I share the authentic optimism for long-term success of our industry and our members. The opportunities are there, and I hope you continue to find them as we navigate through whatever may be left of the crisis. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. So that's the news this week from the Hampshire Realtors. Please be sure to share this video with colleagues so that all members of our New Hampshire Realtor family are informed. And please be sure to stay updated at our dedicated webpage, nhar.org/coronavirus. Thank you for watching and for continuing to follow the conditions of the stay-at-home order. We'll see you next week with what we hope to be good news in terms of reopening of our industry. Stay safe, everyone.